Hello everyone, so this here is the Rickenbacker 620. You can see the Rickenbacker logo up there. I'm opening the case right now, and then you'll see the guitar. The really cool thing I like about this case is that it's perfectly molded for this guitar. Fits really well. It's a beautiful guitar. You can see right there, it's the exact shape of the guitar. It's really satisfying to put it in. And yep, see, it fits real snug. And here are the things that come with it. So you get the Rickenbacker sticker logo, really cool. And yep, it's in black and yellow, gold. And then you have the case candy. Well, all the cool stuff that comes with it. You can see right here, I'm gonna open it up. Has that Made in America sticker. And I usually like to keep these things closed up because it's just so cool. I feel like it's just nice to look at it when you have the case. This is the warranty card, but it also has the QR code for like the manual. Really, really nice. Yep, pretty boring stuff, but I mean, it's a warranty. What do you expect? And then you have here the cleaning cloth, which I may be using. I don't know. I mean, I have my own cloths that I use to clean my guitars. And then you have 3 Allen wrenches, which are for adjusting the bridge and all of the other stuff for the guitar. Really, really cool. Yep. I know you can barely see them, but yes. I'm assuming that one would be for the truss rod. And then this is the key for the case, which I probably won't use, but you never know. It's good to have. And yep, I just put it all right back into the little plastic thing because like I said, I like to keep it kind of all intact. It just feels nice to have these little accessories that come with, inside of your guitar case. So really cool. You can fit it all right there. Probably not going to use the sticker for the Rickenbacker sticker because it's just cool. I don't want it. Like I said, I don't want to mess with any of it. But yep, there we go. That's the case right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that little review. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. And today's video is going to be about this 2024 Rickenbacker 620 in the Jetglo finish. Now, let me get something right off the bat. I'm a humongous Beatles fan. Been a big Beatles fan since the very beginning of my musical journey, and Rickenbacker has always appealed to me because of John Lennon, of course, and George Harrison. But Rickenbacker's always been sort of really expensive and totally impossible to get. The really good thing about the 620 is that it tends to be more in the affordable range, but it does not sacrifice in how good it sounds and how the quality of the instrument is. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how it sounds, and I'm going to talk to you about, this guitar. It's really, really cool. We're going to go deep into this 5th knob because there seems to be a lot of confusion, but hopefully after this video, you'll have some clarification. But in any case, let me put you guys on the screen what Rickenbacker says about what the 5th knob is supposed to do. It's a very long, lengthy paragraph, so pause the video if you want to read it. But there's so much that you can do with that knob, and hopefully, there's no more confusion. This is a really, really cool feature that Rickenbacker has on their guitars. And I know that it's a very different guitar. A lot of guitar players tend to love and hate this guitar. I think you should definitely try one for yourself. I tried one for myself, and I have to say it's not very easy to get your hands on a Rickenbacker. You can't go to Guitar Center and just hopefully they have one on the wall, because they probably don't. I talked to somebody who worked there, and they told me that they don't really bring them out because Rickenbacker wants you to buy these guitars new, right out of the box, not touched. And I can appreciate that. I can understand that. So, but most of your local mom and pop guitar shops will have them on the floor. And if not, I went to Fuller's Guitar here in Houston, and the really, really nice gentlemen's there, they were bringing them out of the box, letting me try them, because it was either the 620 that I wanted or the 325. And the 325 obviously is a very small guitar. And I mean, it's a small guitar for all of you John Lennon fans out there, me being one of them. It feels good to play, and it's an awesome guitar, but it is $3,000, almost $4,000. It's not money that a lot of people tend to have to spare, and if you are the person that likes to finance your guitar, like how Guitar Center and Sweetwater will offer you those 48 months deals, Rickenbacker doesn't really do that as to extensively I've looked to see if they do that, but they do not do that. So the 620 is what I settled for, and I bought it off of Reverb. Here's a tip for you guys. If you guys want to buy a Rickenbacker, go to Reverb. And if you're comfortable with getting the guitar shipped out to you, because sometimes when you favorite some of those listings, there's a few stores that will send you some deals, and that's what happened to me. I favorited a listing of the Jetglo 620, which I thought sounded great when I tested it out in person, and they sent me a great deal over on Reverb, and so I had to take it. It was brand new, and the one I tried in person was the Ash, and that's not the color that I really wanted. And if there's one thing I want to get off the bat, is that Rickenbacker is supposed to be a USA company that works in their factory, and it's very few people, and they're very strict on it still being made the same way that it's always been made, American-made instruments, made by hand. So the thing about that is that since these instruments are made by hand, there may be some very small cosmetic flaws that you could potentially spot on your model if you buy one, because the one I tried in person at Fuller's Guitar, great store by the way, if you're in Houston, check them out. They showed me one, and I could see that it had some little things that I didn't really find to be acceptable, especially for a brand new guitar. Now don't get me wrong, this guitar has some of those same little tiny flaws, but I am okay with it. I feel that, okay, sure, you're gonna buy a handmade guitar and it's made in a small factory. There's a potential for there to be just a little bit of a flaw, and I think that just comes with it. It's just something that comes with it. It's not made like, everything's handmade. Like I said, other brands, it may not be all handmade. Everything will be very perfect, and but for me, I think the little flaws that I will put up on the screen when I'm showing you the guitar case, they're very minuscule. I don't see them unless I'm really, really trying to look for them. And the guitar stays in tune, and it plays really well, feels great. The frets are very, very small, so it does feel a little different, but to be honest, just give it a few minutes of playing and you get used to it. The glossy neck is really awesome. So that's enough of me just babbling. I wanted to give you guys some reference before you hear this guitar, because like I said, some guitar players love or hate this, but I love this. This guitar feels just right for me. So let's go ahead and hear it. Before we get started, I did want to show you guys how these knobs function right here. So this is still pretty much the same. Up is for the neck, middle is for both, and bridge is the lower position. What you need to look at is over here, rather than having the knobs work horizontally like most other guitars where this is volume and tone, what they got going on here with Rickenbacker is that the volume is all the way in the bottom and the tone is all the way in the top. So for the neck, this is what you're looking at right here. Volume and tone. And then for the bridge, you got volume and tone. So all split down vertically rather than horizontally. What the fifth knob does, has multiple different functions. I know earlier I showed you guys what Rickenbacker has on their manual, but in easier terms, when you're in the neck position, you can use it as a boost. When you have it all the way up, like it is right now, it gives you the full neck position, really, really loud and powerful. If you just want to lower that a little bit, maybe lower the output of the neck pickup, you'll lower this down. And that's pretty useful, especially if you have everything all set up here and you don't want to fiddle with this and you just want to lower that output, then you would just turn this down. When you're in the middle position, you got these two active. This basically knocks out that neck position, gets it a little quieter, and if you put it all the way down, you got just a bridge. So that is how it functions when you have it in the regular mono jack. But if you have it in the Ricco sound jack, I'll go ahead and show you guys what it does a little bit later on in the video, so stick around. We'll go ahead and get started in the neck position right now. now I'm plugged into the Rico sound input, and what this means is that I can technically use two different amps. Now what I have mic'd up here is my Princeton Reverb and the Vox AC4 hand-wired. And the really cool thing about this is if you're a recording guitarist, you can track two different parts at the same time. It really saves you time. So what it does is that the neck position is now the Fender Princeton Reverb. The bridge position is now the Vox. You can guess what already happens when you have it in the middle position. You have both amps going at the same time. Really, really cool. So now this blend knob makes a lot more sense. This blend knob can now blend between both of the amps. If you have a little too much Princeton going on, maybe lower it a little bit, and you get just the Vox if you just lower this all the way down, and then you get a little more Princeton if you dial it in. Really cool. So let's show you guys what that sounds like. The neck is the Princeton. The Rico sound on the fifth knob on the neck position still acts as a output thing where it kind of lowers it. But man, when you have it in that middle position, you have both. I think that is the coolest thing in the world. So this knob makes a lot more sense when you're able to use that Rico sound input. Now the thing is that you can't just use a regular guitar cable. Obviously you need a stereo cable. One that you can connect both amps and then straight into the guitar. If you were to try to use both inputs, it doesn't work. It only functions as if you were plugged into this one. So yes, this is the Rickenbacker 620. Really awesome guitar. Let's go ahead and give you my final thoughts. Well, you guys, what did you think? This was the Rickenbacker 620, and let me give you my final thoughts. I know I gave you a lot of my thoughts in the intro, but I thought for the outro I would give you just a little bit more. I think it's a great guitar. I think for the money that you're spending, almost $2,000, but you can get a great deal if you look for maybe just a little under than that. So $1,700, $1,600. This is a great guitar. Great guitar. Great way to get your hands on a Rickenbacker. They still don't make affordable models, for beginners and intermediate players or people who just can't afford to spend a lot of money on these guitars, which is a shame. But just know that if you do drop some cash on these guitars, you're getting a great guitar. This is a great guitar. One of the other things I didn't really talk about is the weight of this guitar. This feels like it's a perfectly balanced guitar. The neck feels, there's no neck dive. There's no, you pick up the guitar and it's like, oh my God, like Les Pauls or Telecasters or even some heavy Stratocasters. This feels very, very, I don't know if there's a word for it, but it just feels like it weighs perfectly. It just weighs, it feels really good. The neck is a little shorter. I think it's around the 24.25, or I could be wrong. I'll put it on the screen. But it's a little bit shorter than your regular Strat. But it feels so good to play. So good to play. I feel that sometimes with Stratocasters, if I'm doing those difficult chords, it's really hard. But on this guitar, it feels really easy. I love the versatility. I love the sounds that you can get out of this guitar. I love the Rico sound thing. When you're double tracking a guitar, it can really save you some time. It's really awesome. And if you don't, like I did it with these two Fender and Vox amps, but you can do it on a DAW if you have two inputs and go stereo, and there's so much that you can do with it. I think it's fantastic, and I love quirky guitars. I love guitars that are just out of the ordinary. They're inspiring. It makes you want to play. It makes you want to write music. And that's what I intend to do with this guitar, is to make music with it. Super awesome. You know, people tend to talk about the toaster pickups, but these are the high gains, and I think these sound really, really good. Really great. I don't really know if I'll ever change them to the toasters, because that is what people tend to think of the authentic Rickenbacker sound, but I love these pickups. They sound great. Great, great, great. So, yes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this guitar, and I'm always going to make videos about the things that I love. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one.